If you're a die-hard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. It's been a long, strange offseason in Cleveland, and the wide receiver situation is starting to look like a brewing storm. The Browns, for reasons that continue to baffle fans and analysts alike, chose not to address a glaring weakness during the NFL draft. Not a single wideout was taken. And when it came to free agency, they rolled the dice on Diontae Johnson, a talented but troubled pass catcher with more question marks than answers. Outside of that, crickets. Now, as the market dries up and the options dwindle, the front office finds itself facing a familiar dilemma, and an even more familiar name has re-entered the conversation: Amari Cooper. That's right, the same Amari Cooper they traded away. Just months ago, the same Amari Cooper who once led their offense with poise and production. But is a reunion the right move, or would this be a mistake rooted in desperation? Let's rewind the tape a bit. Amari Cooper was, not that long ago, the centerpiece of the Browns' passing attack. In 2022, he delivered a standout performance with 72 receptions, 250 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Numbers that earned him his 5th Pro Bowl nod and solidified his status as one of the league's premier route runners. That season wasn't just impressive, it was essential to Cleveland's offensive identity. But fast forward to 2024 and the script flipped. The Browns, unwilling to commit long-term, shipped him to the Buffalo Bills midway through the season. What followed was a noticeable decline in production: 44 catches, 547 yards, and 4 touchdowns in 14 games. Not terrible numbers, but a clear drop-off from what we'd come to expect from a receiver of his caliber. So now, we're faced with the question: is Amari Cooper still that guy? What complicates this potential reunion isn't just the on-field production, it's the off-field baggage. There may be lingering tension between Cooper and the organization, especially after they refused to extend his contract last offseason. At the time, it seemed like a calculated move, one that may have even proven to be correct given his regression. But relationships matter in the NFL, and players have long memories. The University of Alabama product may not be keen on returning to a team that, in his eyes, discarded him. If there's any hope for reconciliation, it'll require humility from both sides. Hanford Dixon, a Browns legend and former cornerback, thinks it's worth the awkwardness. He's publicly advocated for bringing Cooper back, arguing that his experience and familiarity with the system could be invaluable heading into a high-stakes season. And you know what? Dixon might be onto something. Look, we can critique Cooper's down year all we want, but let's not ignore the context. He was moved mid-season, forced to adapt to a new playbook in Buffalo, and was part of 2 offenses that struggled with consistency. That's not exactly a recipe for success. It's entirely possible that his drop in numbers was more a symptom of unstable circumstances than a true decline in ability. The guy is 30, not ancient by wide receiver standards, and still possesses elite route running skills. On a Browns roster that's thin behind Jerry Jeudy, adding a veteran like Cooper might be the safest bet. And safe isn't always exciting, but it's sometimes exactly what a team needs. But make no mistake, this would be a reunion soaked in irony. When Cleveland sent Cooper packing, it was seen as a move to turn the page, to create space for new talent to rise. Now, months later, that new talent has yet to emerge, and the Browns are left staring into the void, or perhaps looking over their shoulder. That's the uncomfortable truth. They may have no choice but to knock on Amari's door and hope he answers, because unless Diontae Johnson suddenly transforms into a model of consistency or a hidden gem emerges from the depth chart, this offense is dangerously close to becoming one-dimensional. That's not a recipe for success in the AFC North, where firepower isn't optional, it's survival. There's also a leadership angle to consider. Cooper, for all his quiet demeanor, brought professionalism and maturity to the locker room. He led by example, rarely complained, and put in the work. For a team with young, impressionable receivers, that presence matters. It's one thing to coach up raw talent. It's another to show them what greatness looks like. Cooper did that during his time in Cleveland. Bringing him back, awkward as it may be, could stabilize not just the passing game, but the entire receiver room. It's a high-risk, high-reward play. And with the Browns facing heightened expectations in 2025, it may be the kind of swing they have to take. Still, not everyone's sold. Some fans view Cooper's potential return as a step backward, a move that screams panic rather than planning. They argue that the Browns had a chance to draft or sign younger, more dynamic talent and simply failed to do so. To now turn back to a player they deemed expendable sends a confusing message about direction and intent. Is this team building for the future or clinging to the past? That's a fair concern, and it's one the front office will have to answer if they pick up the phone. But here's the reality. You don't always get to choose how the story unfolds. Sometimes the best available option is the one you thought you left behind. From a purely football standpoint, though, the logic is hard to ignore. Cooper knows the system. He has chemistry with the quarterbacks. He's proven he can produce in Cleveland. And unlike many of the names still floating in free agency, he doesn't need a steep learning curve to get up to speed. If the Browns are serious about contending this season, not just making the playoffs but actually doing damage, they need more than just potential. They need production. And Amari Cooper, even after a down year, still offers more proven production than most of the names out there. It's not about nostalgia. It's about doing what gives you the best chance to win. So here we are. The Browns once again find themselves staring down the possibility of an awkward reunion. The market is bare. The depth chart is shaky. The fans are restless. And Amari Cooper, the man who once carried this passing attack, is still out there waiting for the phone to ring. It's not a fairy tale ending. It's not the kind of move that lights up headlines or sells jerseys. But it might be the smartest play Cleveland can make right now. Because if there's one thing we've learned in the NFL, it's this. Sometimes the future comes with a familiar face. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans all over the world, the NFL has just been rocked by one of the biggest moves of the year. Odell Beckham Jr. has officially signed with the Cleveland Browns. That's right, OBJ is taking his talents to Cleveland, and the entire football universe is buzzing with excitement. Browns fans haven't been this hyped since, well, maybe ever. The franchise that was once the definition of struggle and heartbreak is now turning heads with this blockbuster signing. It's not just a move, it's a statement that the Browns are here, they're serious, and they're ready to contend. Social media exploded within seconds of the news breaking, with hashtags like Dawg OBJ to Cleveland and Browns Super Bowl trending worldwide. From casual fans to NFL analysts, everyone has an opinion, and everyone is talking about what this means for the Browns, the AFC North, and the league as a whole. Let's talk about the man at the center of it all, Odell Beckham Jr. We all know OBJ is one of the most electrifying wide receivers in the NFL. From his legendary one-handed catch against the Cowboys to his signature touchdown celebrations, Beckham is not just an athlete, he's an icon. After successful yet tumultuous stints with the New York Giants, Cleveland Browns, Los Angeles Rams, and Baltimore Ravens, Beckham is now making a highly anticipated return to Cleveland. This time, he's coming back with even more experience. A Super Bowl ring under his belt from his time with the Rams, and something to prove. His presence is guaranteed to elevate the Browns' offense, and fans are already dreaming of those deep bombs from the quarterback right into OBJ's reliable hands. It's the kind of move that changes the entire dynamic of a team. Now, let's not forget about the Browns organization. For years, this team has been battling the odds, trying to shake off a history filled with more downs than ups. But in recent seasons, we've seen them slowly climb out of the shadows. The acquisition of key players, the development of young talent. And now, the signing of Odell Beckham Jr. is the clearest signal yet that this team is ready to move from underdogs to top dogs. The front office deserves major credit for pulling off this day. They didn't just sign a wide receiver, they signed a superstar, a cultural phenomenon, and someone who knows how to win. This could be the missing piece that helps the Browns make a serious playoff push, or dare I say, a Super Bowl run. Yes, I said it, and I'm not taking it back. The reaction from Browns fans has been absolutely priceless. We're talking about pure, unfiltered joy. From videos of fans screaming and celebrating in their living rooms to tweets filled with disbelief and excitement, the energy in Cleveland is unmatched right now. Local sports bars are already reporting a spike in jersey orders for OBJ's new Browns uniform. People are flooding the team store and online retailers desperate to get their hands on anything with Beckham's name and number on it. And honestly, can you blame them? This is the kind of signing that doesn't just change your roster, it changes your city's vibe. Cleveland, often overshadowed by bigger markets, is now the epicenter of the NFL conversation. For fans who've endured years of disappointment, this feels like the ultimate reward. But of course, with big moves come big expectations. The pressure is now squarely on the Browns to deliver. Adding Odell Beckham Jr. is a massive upgrade, but it also means that the margin for error just got a whole lot smaller. The Browns coaching staff will need to find the best way to integrate OBJ into their offensive scheme, ensuring that he gets the opportunities to make the kind of game-changing plays he's famous for. Chemistry with the quarterback will be critical because, as we've seen in the past, even the most talented receiver can struggle if the connection isn't there. Training camp and preseason will be vital for ironing out those details. Everyone from analysts to fans will be watching closely to see how Beckham fits in and how this new-look Browns offense takes shape. Speaking of the offense, let's not forget that Odell isn't walking into a bare cupboard. The Browns already boast some serious offensive firepower with talented running backs and emerging wide receivers. OBJ's arrival takes this unit to the next level. Defenses are going to have their hands full trying to figure out how to cover all these weapons. Double team Beckham? Fine, but that just leaves other playmakers open to do damage. This strategic advantage can't be overstated. And let's be real, Beckham loves the spotlight. He thrives in these high-stakes environments where he can prove that he's still one of the best wide receivers in the game. With this setup, we could be in for some absolute highlight reel moments week after week. Buckle up, Browns fans. It's going to be a wild ride. Across the league, reactions have been just as intense. Rival teams in the AFC North, like the Steelers, Ravens, and Bengals, are undoubtedly paying attention. This move doesn't just make the Browns better, it shifts the balance of power within the division. Games that were already must-watch are now even more compelling, with added drama and storylines. You can bet that defensive coordinators are already in the film room trying to figure out how to slow down Beckham and this revamped Browns offense. NFL pundits are having a field day debating what this means for playoff seeding and Super Bowl odds. Some are skeptical. Others are convinced this is the move that finally gets the Browns over the hump. Either way, the Browns just became one of the most fascinating teams to watch this season. For Odell Beckham Jr., this is also a personal statement. After years of ups and downs, injuries, and critics questioning whether he could return to his elite form, signing with the Browns is his way of saying, I'm not done yet. It's a chance for redemption and a new chapter in a career that has been anything but boring. Beckham has always thrived when people doubted him. Whether it was being labeled a diva or written off after injuries, he's found ways to silence the critics with his play on the field. This stint with the Browns could very well define the next phase of his career. If he succeeds, it solidifies his legacy as one of the greats of his generation. If he struggles, well, you know how the media works. But knowing OBJ, he's betting on himself to deliver. From a business perspective, this signing is a goldmine. Ticket sales are expected to skyrocket, with fans eager to see Beckham in action at First Energy Stadium. The Browns are likely to dominate primetime slots this season as networks clamor to showcase this new-look squad. Sponsorships, merchandise sales, media appearances, you name it, the OBJ effect is real. It's not just about football. It's about entertainment, culture, and brand power. The Browns went from being a struggling franchise to one of the league's most marketable teams almost overnight. This is the kind of move that has ripple effects beyond the field, influencing everything from local businesses in Cleveland to national advertising campaigns. Beckham brings star power wherever he goes, and the Browns are going to ride that wave all season long. So here we are, folks. The Browns have made their move, and Odell Beckham Jr. is officially part of the Dawg Pound once again. The excitement is through the roof, The stakes have never been higher, and the NFL just got a whole lot more interesting. Whether you're a diehard Browns fan, a casual football watcher, or just someone who loves a good sports story, this is a narrative you won't want to miss. Will this be the year the Browns finally put it all together and make a deep playoff run? Will Beckham rediscover his all-pro form and lead the team to glory? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure. The entire sports world will be watching every single snap. Get ready, Cleveland. Football season just got a whole lot more fun. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!